think you know Goddess Durga? Most people just picture the fierce warrior with many arms, but few realize she actually has 9 different forms, and each one has a powerful, life-changing purpose. These aren't just old legends. Each avatar represents a force that's quietly working in your life. From chaos to clarity, from battle to compassion, this journey reveals a power that already lives inside you. Even if you haven't noticed it yet, from day one, the path of manifestation starts with stability. Shulputri, the daughter of the mountains, is the very first step toward inner transformation. She stands for what's solid and unshakable, like a rock that won't move no matter how strong the wind blows. Her energy reminds us to ground our minds, especially when everything around us feels like it's spinning out of control. Want to manifest something clearly? Start by planting roots within yourself, because without that, even your biggest dreams slip through your fingers like sand. Everyone wants to achieve big things, but not many ask themselves, is my foundation strong enough? Shulputri didn't just ride Shiva's bull, she guided its powerful energy with balance and intention. You can do the same in your daily life. Pay attention to your habits, your words, even what you feed your body and mind. Here's a simple practice. Every morning, before grabbing your phone, sit for 2 minutes, breathe, and remind yourself what you truly want to create that day. Stability isn't some magical gift, it's a daily choice. The trident in her hand stands for mastering the body, the mind, and your energy, 3 pillars that have to line up if you want to live with real intention. The law of attraction only kicks in when your mind stops running and starts staying focused. People who react to everything lose the power to create anything. Shulputri teaches us that the first step to attracting abundance, love, or health isn't chasing after it, it's learning to stay whole right where you are. And slowly, she shows us that perseverance has its own sacred rhythm, waiting to unfold. Over time, her intense devotion didn't just melt Shiva's heart, it earned the admiration of the heavens themselves. Brahmakarini became a symbol of the power of persistence and the strength of pure intention. Holding a rosary in one hand and a water pot in the other, her presence radiated quiet devotion. Through the fire of self-denial, she wasn't just waiting, she was becoming something greater. A force that wouldn't sit still, but would rise and act. When Shiva finally agreed to marry Parvati, he showed up with a wedding party so terrifying that even the gods were shaken. It was a wild parade of supernatural beings, flaming eyes, ash-covered bodies, and creatures no one dared to name. The scene was so intense that Parvati's own family was scared out of their minds. To restore dignity to the moment and balance Shiva's fierce energy, Parvati transformed into Chandraghanta, the warrior goddess. Chandraghanta appeared with 10 arms, each holding a different weapon. On her forehead, a crescent moon shaped like a bell glowed, hence her name. Chandra, meaning moon, and Ganta, meaning bell. Riding a lion, she let out a silent roar that dissolved fear on the spot. Her presence wasn't just powerful, it was regal. It felt like nature itself had taken a feminine form to remind everyone that even chaos needs order, and gentleness can still wield a sword. Her eyes carried both compassion and fierce determination as she faced Shiva's monstrous entourage without blinking. What started as a terrifying wedding turned into a symbol of balance between opposing forces. The union of Shiva and Parvati became the bond between destruction and creation, silence and sound, meditation and movement. And with that fearless transformation in the face of chaos, she opened the door to a new face of creation, one that smiles even when everything around it is darkness. Before there was form, before even the first spark of light, there was only emptiness, a dark, silent space. That's where Kushmanda appeared, smiling into the void. With a single smile, she lit up the first ray of existence and created the universe. Her name means the tiny cosmic energy that made the world, and her story marks the moment when creation rose out of nothing. While every form still slept in the womb of the unmanifested, she was the one who breathed life into it all. Kushmanda lives at the core of the sun, radiating warmth and vital energy to the entire cosmos. Her body glows with the brightness of 1,000 suns, yet her face remains calm and gentle. Riding a lion and holding 8 weapons, she rules with perfect balance, destroying and nourishing at once. In her 8th hand, she holds a rosary that symbolizes time, cycles, and the eternal memory of creation. She's the quiet pulse behind every expansion, the force that holds galaxies together and whispers in every seed as it breaks through the soil. While other forms of the goddess show up to act, fight, or protect, Kushmanda is the source of it all. She didn't appear in reaction to anything. She is the beginning. Her presence isn't rushed. It doesn't fear. It simply exists in pure creative awareness. It was her energy that shaped the sun, the stars, and the very laws that govern existence. And with that silent grandeur, she paves the way for a new face of the goddess, one that carries not just the power to create a universe, but the love and responsibility to raise a child who would shift the fate of the gods. After creating the universe and holding the balance of all life, the goddess's energy takes on a more personal, tender form, a mother. Skandamata is the version of Parvati who gave birth to Kartikeya, also known as Skanda, the commander of the celestial army. She shows up as the embodiment of divine motherhood, not just nurturing through her body, but empowering with wisdom and strength. Her child rests peacefully in her arms, destined to defeat the demon Tarakasura, yet her gaze stays focused on her devotees. Still riding a lion-like in her earlier forms, Skandamata radiates both bravery and warmth. With 4 arms, she holds lotuses and cradles Skanda effortlessly in her lap. Though her son is a divine warrior, beside his mother, he's simply a beloved child. This balance between fierce protection and soft love shows the depth of her power. Even after giving birth to one of the most powerful divine leaders, she remains calm, present, quietly glowing with inner light. Skanda's birth wasn't just a happy event, it was a cosmic answer to a serious imbalance. And it was Skandamata who nurtured, guided, and offered her own divine energy so he could fulfill his role. She didn't go into battle herself, but her presence supported what would become one of the greatest wars between good and evil. And from her watchful, loving eyes, we're led to yet another form of the goddess, one that doesn't hesitate to go straight into battle when chaos threatens to take over the world. Born out of a collective cry from the gods, Katyayani was a form of power never seen before. She came from the concentrated fury of Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, and the other gods, who needed a force strong enough to stand against the demon Mahishasura. That energy took shape in the home of the sage Katyayan, which is why she's known as Katyayani. Unlike previous forms, she didn't arrive to protect, she came to conquer. Riding a fierce lion, her hair flowing wild and eyes blazing, Katyayani held weapons gifted by all the gods. With 6 arms and unstoppable resolve, she fought an epic battle against Mahishasura, the shape-shifting demon who used deception to take control. When he turned into a massive buffalo, roaring to shake the universe, Katyayani didn't flinch. With divine precision, she struck him down, crushing the evil that had spread even into the heavens. Her name became known as Mahishasuramardin, the destroyer of Mahishasura. But she didn't just take down a demon. She crushed the arrogance of a power that thought it was untouchable. With her victory, she brought balance back to the universe and gave the cosmos a sense of peace again. And with that raw, fierce, and unstoppable energy, the goddess prepares to take on an even darker form, one that will face evil not just with brute force, but with a strategy that's as terrifying as it is necessary. When darkness became something real, something with a name, the gods didn't call for light, they called for Kalaratri. She's the most fearsome form of the goddess, a presence that doesn't knock, doesn't flinch, and definitely doesn't fear. Her body is as black as a moonless night. Her wild hair dances with the wind, and her eyes burn like embers in the dark. Kalaratri appeared when the demon Raktabija was wreaking havoc, multiplying every time a drop of his blood hit the ground. None of the gods could stop him. With her tongue out and blood-stained claws, Kalaratri charged into battle, not with ordinary weapons, but with a plan only she could carry out. Every time Raktabija was wounded, more of him would appear. So she did the unthinkable. She drank his blood before it could hit the earth. Every drop, every splash, until nothing was left. What looked terrifying to human eyes was actually the most precise, fearless move to stop evil from spreading. She isn't the darkness, she masters the darkness. The heavens trembled when they saw her, but not a single god tried to stop her. They knew only she had the guts to do what had to be done. Kalaratri doesn't smile. She doesn't comfort. She doesn't hesitate. She clears the field, rips evil out by the roots, and makes space for something new to grow. And once everything's been purified in the fire of terror, it's time to let go of that form and return to something clear, calm, and full of light. After Kalaratri's devastating fury, only silence remained. Parvati, covered in the ashes of war and the weight of deep penance, stepped into the sacred waters of the heavenly rivers. And from that stillness emerged Mahagauri, the purest, most radiant form of the goddess. Her name means the bright white one, and her skin shone like the full moon. The darkness that once clung to her body fell away, transforming into another divine form, Kaushiki, while she reclaimed her original softness. Riding a bull and holding a drum and a trident, Mahagauri represents the peace that follows the storm. Her calm eyes, soft smile, and steady posture carry the grace of someone who's been through it all and still chose kindness. She's not fragile, she's complete. Not because she never saw chaos, but because she walked through it and didn't let it change her. Her presence soothes, heals, and reminds people that softness is a strength and life can still be beautiful. Parvati's transformation into Mahagauri marks the end of a long cycle of trials and battles. It's the rebirth of feminine energy in its most compassionate form. Mahagauri doesn't need to prove her strength. She's already won battles the whole universe has witnessed. She simply is. And with that luminous calm, she prepares to reveal her final form, the one that holds all powers, all shapes, and every blessing existence has to offer. At the height of creation, once everything had been faced, purified, and uplifted, the goddess unveiled her supreme form, Siddhidatri. She's the convergence point of all the avatars that came before Shakti in her purest essence. Her name means the one who grants siddhis, the highest spiritual powers like clairvoyance, teleportation, control over the elements, and expanded awareness. Seated on a lotus or riding a lion, she holds the ultimate symbols of divine perfection: a discus, trident, conch, and lotus flower. Siddhidatri is the presence Shiva meditated on so deeply that half of his being became her. From that union came Ardhanarishvara, the androgynous form that perfectly balances the masculine and feminine. In this state, there's no more division, no ego, no gap between doing and being. Siddhidatri is the silence behind every sacred word, the space between each breath, the light that's already within those who seek it. At the end of the journey, she's the one who blesses the seeker with what can't be taught, only received. Not by force, but through presence. Not through effort, but surrender. Siddhidatri doesn't need to fight anymore, because everything is already in harmony under her gaze. She doesn't arrive like lightning, but like a sunset, quiet, beautiful, and inevitable. And with that sense of wholeness, we complete this pilgrimage through the 9 forms of the Divine Mother, each one holding a deep purpose, just waiting to be seen. Which form of the goddess spoke to you the most? And what if a piece of your strength has been hidden in one of these stories just waiting to be awakened? You don't have to figure it all out now, just don't ignore the call. If something here stirred something in you, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and keep walking this path of inner discovery with us.